So we have here Breath of the Wild on HDR for the first time ever. In my experience, I played this game so much. Let me show you how many hours I have on this game. I took a screenshot before opening the game. I was installing it again. 101 hours and 54 minutes, okay? I played this game a lot and I love it. I mean, this is so interesting. So interesting. This is what open world games need, okay? To be interesting, like Elden Ring, like this game, something that you want to explore, okay? So what is the HDR doing? It is basically making those light sources brighter. And in terms of the colors, to be honest, I have no idea how the colors on this game are supposed to look like, because when I was playing this game, I used so many different presets for the colors. I think I have right now the standard preset. I was playing the game, most of the game, with a BOSD, I think is his name. He has a YouTube channel. He talks about emulation and all of that. So, and I don't know what happened with him. He stopped uploading videos. I hope he's doing well. So I basically played the game with that preset, and what I did is I just changed it to the default, so the colors are not wild. So these are the default colors with HLG HDR, and also we see the performance on this game for the CPU is brutal. I cannot get a locked 120. It's barely going over 100 frames, and the CPU is being utilized only 8 threads. For some reason, it's not utilizing the CPU all the threads. I remember I played this game with a Ryzen 7 2700, and the performance was like 60s, on the 60 frames and a little bit more. Not more than that, and dropping below 60 is very demanding. So this 5800X 3D CPU is a beast, and it cannot do a locked 120 to use black frame insertion here. But I'm sure I can do 100, and maybe, you know, update the emulator. I think I'm up to date actually. I double checked that, but maybe check those CPU settings and see if I can improve it. I have multi-thread and 4500 selected, and I think that was the recommended settings for the CPU. But maybe there's a way to make this game use all the cores, so I can get a locked 120, use black frame insertion, and get, I mean, 4K 120 black frame insertion is perfection, and we can get HDR too. So in my opinion, this kind of cartoonish games for the HDR is I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. This kind of Switch games and cartoonish games, I'm not a big fan of that for HDR, because my eyes it doesn't give you a rest. This game is not that much you know, as bright as Genshin Impact, for example. Genshin Impact is so overkill for the eyes. It's so bright everywhere, and it looks incredible, but it's like a candy. You cannot get you cannot get too much, because it's going to hurt you. So that's my opinion about these cartoonish games on HDR. Is too much for my eyes. But just to look at it for a moment, it does look nice. And if you see, for example, these blue lights here, they are popping super hard. But if I get into a dungeon, it's gonna be too much, too bright. So I also have, let me show you, see if we leave the time of the day pass. And I also have here the original Metal Gear. So I have the original Metal Gear, and because, you know, somebody asked me, hey, how about, you know, older games and emulation? So it doesn't make a difference that's big enough for me to justify play the game. I mean, it's nothing pop. I mean, the light sources, they do pop, but I mean, it's not worth it. I can no longer play this, especially at 30 frames, low resolution. But if you're a big fan, and I mean, I definitely missed. This game has amazing music, amazing art direction. It is phenomenal. The art direction, the music, and what they did on this game was epic. Definitely ahead of its time. But I would not waste that much money on a high-end gaming PC and this OLED TV to play this. But that's just what I like, in my opinion. Maybe you are going to be like amazed to see how the game looks on the OLED, but not me. It's too old. Sorry. But yeah, I think this game, Breath of the Wild, is a masterpiece, and because the graphics are like a cartoon, it holds up. It's going to hold for the test of the time, basically. And yeah, the combat is a little bit simpler than what I would like, but it works, and the game world is super interesting. So yeah, definitely I would strongly recommend you this game if you haven't played. But yeah, HDR doesn't make a big difference here, to be honest. And the colors, again, this kind of cartoonish games, the colors, the color accuracy is, in my opinion, is almost completely irrelevant, because on the emulator you have so many color options, and people just like to make this kind of games more colorful and with more contrast and all of that, so it doesn't even matter. So yeah, let me know what you think about emulation in these OLED TVs and HDR with older games. I don't think it makes a difference that's gonna make me play those games. Do they look better on HDR? Absolutely. But I much rather have higher resolution textures for a game like that Metal Gear. And if they do a remaster, I might play the game for sure. Do a remaster with a better gameplay mechanics, high resolution textures, high frame rate. I might play it. The music and the art direction is insane. It's so good. But yeah, that's what I think. I was waiting for the Sun to come out, but it's still not coming out. I don't remember how to play the game, to be honest. This is what I have here. I beat the game. So yeah, destroy Ganon. So I already destroyed it, but you have that save before doing it. So there you go.